The next one is by Al Jazeera, which has kind of exposed the social media or the online warfare that is taking place, which is the next revolution, where they set up fake Twitter accounts to impact the Gulf crisis. In this article, the part that really made me think was the blockade of Qatar, the war in Yemen, the Gulf crisis that is there, with UAE and Saudi on one side and Qatar on the other, and all the other Gulf states. All this was actually promulgated on social media even before it started. And Al Jazeera has analyzed more than 2.3 million tweets of almost 2,400 accounts from 2017 to 2018. I mean, how do you analyze so much of data unless you have a software that is actually doing that? So worthwhile to have a read of this article, and especially, I think, the fake news that comes in. Saudi news, you have Saudi, as per Bloomberg, it's planning a plan B route from to avoid the area of Hormuz, which they feel is very dangerous for it, which I don't blame them. I'll be speaking to you more about the shipping news that I got from one of the expats. Then you also have Gizmodo.com that reports and shares MBZ. He has this ridiculous futuristic city. Why it is ridiculous is because in that he has schools which will be hologram. That means no real teachers. You will have, like this futuristic Blade Runner kind of like images, like people just there's a hologram image teaching people and communicating with them. You'll have cloud seeding with artificial rain. You will have a Jurassic-styled park with robot kind of reptiles. You'll have robot maids. You'll have cage fighting, which is also robots. Flying taxis, which will replace ground transportation. Total surveillance that will be done by drones. You'll have face recognition gear. And it's everything will be artificial. In fact, even the moon and the stars, everything will be artificial. And he also will be focusing on having a beach which will glow in the dark, like one of those neon kind of material. So I mean, it sounds nice. But it's kind of spooky to think about, being realistic. It's one thing to watch it in a movie, the other thing to really have it in front of you. The thing that was pretty disturbing about the whole article was forcible relocation of 20,000 people from their houses or from the places where they stay into this area where everyone is going to be, you're just going to have everyone under surveillance by the government. So this journal was obtained, which is around 2,300 pages, was obtained by, I think it was one of the leading newspapers, can't get the name right now. Okay, Washington Post? Okay. It was prepped by Boston Consulting Group, McKinsey and Company, and Oliver Wyman. So you have Murtuza Mohammad Hussain, who shared this. The Wall Street Journal, yes, the Wall Street Journal kind of exposed this. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Saudi is losing its mind? Is MBZ thinking too far ahead? Is he being practical, or is he just, is he high on something? Okay. International news where Saudi is involved. You have the major guy who was accused. This guy's photograph. We would see after September 9/11 that he was in Guantanamo Bay. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is open to testifying in the victim's lawsuit if U.S. decides, if he says that if you remove the death penalty, if you let me live, I'm willing to speak. As far as I look at it, I mean, you are torturing the guy in prison. You are making him say what you want to say. There's only so much that a human being or a human body or an individual can take. At some point, they do break. So I just look at it as, a constant, kind of force or torture whereby a guy becomes a vegetable and says, whatever you want me to say, I'll say it. So, this is, I feel, a political game. Then again, we never know. Saudi, once again, Bloomberg is saying that Saudi wants to move into alternate forms of energy like a wind power plant, which it is teaming up with a French company. The country, Saudi Arabia, wants to focus on more renewable forms of energy. And one of the reasons for this is because they know that the dependency on oil, which is there with all the nations, is going to wean off. They are going to find alternate either sources of oil, or they're going to ensure that Saudi is no longer the monopoly that it once was. So this is Saudi moving into the future. Do you think that is going to impact Saudi? I definitely look it as the Middle East, which was more or less the monopoly, with the Arabs being so rich, successful, and happy, with easy money coming in with oil. The world is no longer going to focus on them. So now they are going to be desperate just to try to make themselves fit into the global arena. Moving